Hey everyone, welcome back to another Deep Dive Explainer. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. We are stepping straight into the ultimate tactical laboratory. You see, we fed massive amounts of data, historical trends, and recent tactical shifts surrounding the 2026 World Cup directly into our AI models. Why? To answer one burning question. Which manager is truly built to conquer the biggest, most grueling tournament in football history? Let's find out.
Did you know the 2026 World Cup is going to feature a staggering 104 matches? Just think about that for a second. Drop everything you know about standard World Cup formats. We are talking about a massive sprawl across three giant host countries, the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The sheer geographical and physical scale of this event is literally unprecedented. Teams are going to be navigating multiple time zones and pretty drastic climate shifts.
Or how about this mind-blowing data point? Ralf Rangnick's Austrian national team allows their opponents a historic low of just 7.14 passes before they make a defensive action. Basically, they give you absolutely zero room to breathe. So we've got these two extremes on a total collision course, right? The insane physical demands of a continent-wide tournament versus the incredibly intense, hyper-demanding tactics of modern football.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the number 48 changes absolutely everything. For the first time since 1998, the actual structure of the tournament is expanding. We're bringing 48 teams to North America. The math for the managers on the touchline is fundamentally different now. If a team wants to reach the Final Four, they've got to survive an 8-match, 39-day marathon. It's not just about fielding your best starting 11 anymore. It's entirely about the masterminds on the bench who can navigate this giant tactical chessboard.
Which brings us to Section 1, the ultimate tactical chessboard, categorizing the masters.
But before we reveal how our AI grouped everyone, we've got to talk about the secret weapon all these managers will be using, and that's data. FIFA's technical study group, led by Arsene Wenger, is deploying what they call enhanced football intelligence. They literally have data scientists and engineers sitting in Miami and Dallas, crunching real-time metrics from 6 different camera angles. The managers who can best blend this extreme tech with their own human intuition, they're going to have a massive, massive edge.
So how exactly did our AI algorithms sort out these tactical minds heading into 2026? Well, it broke them down like this. 40% fall into the favorites, the heavyweights carrying immense expectations. 35% are the revolutionaries, the guys bringing super radical, demanding systems to the international stage. And the remaining 25%, those are the dark horses, under-the-radar tacticians with the flexibility to completely disrupt the giants. Let's break down each tier. Moving right along to Section 2, Helm of the Favorites. We're looking at elite pragmatists versus modern fluidity.
Just look at the contrast here. On the left, we've got France's Didier Deschamps. He's your ultimate master of long-term leadership and pragmatic continuity. He thrives on a stable hierarchy and proven man management. But on the right, you have Germany's Julian Nagelsmann. He's all about modern fluidity. He heavily relies on data analysis to combine intense positional play with relentless pressing. So two totally different tactical philosophies, both expected to absolutely dominate.
But here's the thing. The AI highlights one absolutely crucial necessity for both of them, and that's the ABXI model. Because of this expanded format, relying on just one core group of starters is a guaranteed recipe for burnout. Managers like Deschamps and Nagelsmann are going to have to rotate their squads seamlessly. They'll basically need two entirely different starting 11s to survive the 39-day marathon, exactly like top-tier Premier League clubs do during a busy season.
Next up, Section 3, Challengers and Revolutionaries. This is all about pushing tactical extremes.
At the very core of this tier is a concept you're going to hear a lot: gegenpressing. Basically, it means counterpressing. Instead of dropping back into a deep defensive wall, what we call a low block, these teams swarm the ball the exact millisecond they lose possession to catch the opponent's defense entirely off guard. We measure this intensity using PPDA, or passes allowed per defensive action. Ralf Rangnick's Austria is the absolute poster child for this right now. They're like a telepathic machine, suffocating teams with incredibly rapid transitions.
But hey, Rangnick definitely isn't alone here. Marcelo Bielsa is injecting his notoriously extreme 3-3-3-1 formation into a very talented Uruguay squad. Over in Europe, Thomas Tuchel is bringing his demanding psychological leadership and complex tactical rigor to England. And then you've got Mauricio Pochettino using a super flexible 3-4-2-1 shape to maximize the host nation's physical potential with the U.S. men's national team. All these guys are injecting complex, club-level systems straight into international football. Now, quick question for you all before we move on. Which of these brilliant tactical minds do you actually think will fail under the pressure? Who's going to crack first in the brutal North American summer heat? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and while you're at it, please make sure to like this explainer, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and seriously, let us know what topics you want our AI to analyze next.
All right, let's jump to the third tier. Section 4. Tacticians with surprise potential. Let's talk about the dark horses.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is Vincenzo Montella's strategy with the Turkish national team. Instead of trying to force incredibly complex new theories onto his players during those really short international breaks, Montella brilliantly simplifies the whole thing. He basically just mirrors the roles his players already have at their daily clubs. He combines that familiarity with a classic Italian-style defensive transition block and fosters extreme collective unity. It is an objective masterclass in pragmatism that turns Turkey into a highly dangerous outlier.
We are seeing this extreme pragmatism in other dark horses too. Look at Carlos Queiroz taking over Ghana. He brings an unmatched World Cup pedigree and an incredibly stubborn defensive organization to stabilize the squad. On the flip side, you've got Rudy Garcia stepping in for Belgium. His whole focus is rebuilding fractured team spirit, carefully balancing the remnants of their aging golden generation with fresh, young talent. For both of them, it's all about stabilizing the ship. So we've seen the favorites, the revolutionaries, and the dark horses. It is finally time for Section 5, the golden prediction. Let's look at the AI's final calculation.
The AI established some incredibly strict winning criteria based on this unique North American challenge. Think about it. An expanded 104-match format severely punishes stubborn tactics. When you have to manage physical recovery over a 39-day marathon while dealing with the insane travel logistics across 3 massive host nations, relying purely on technical brilliance, the math says it's just not enough. You absolutely have to dominate the micro details like set pieces, travel management, and hydration.
And this brilliantly illustrates the biggest risk for our revolutionaries. When the AI models system sustainability over a potential 8-match run to the final, the success rate for idealist, high-pressing teams, like Austria or Spain, plummets to just 45%. The sheer fatigue of running a relentless gegenpress in the summer humidity makes it almost fatal. Compare that to the calculated, energy-conserving pacing of elite pragmatism, which holds a massive 90% sustainability rating.
The AI's definitive conclusion is captured perfectly right here. The 2026 World Cup will reward managers who think in 90-day cycles, not 90-minute ones. Elite pragmatists over idealist philosophers. In short, the managers who operate like structural engineers, meticulously managing travel, meticulously rotating players, and adapting their tactics to survive rather than simply entertain, they are the ones mathematically favored to absolutely dominate.
So, the AI has spoken loud and clear. Pragmatism is the ultimate key to surviving the massive scale of 2026. But I want to turn this over to you for one final thought. Who is your ultimate pragmatist to actually lift the trophy in 2026? Who do you think has the perfect mix of tactical flexibility and that engineering mindset to outlast everyone else? Jump into the comments and let the debate begin. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.